Hey guys, this is yours truly, Pastor Kevin L.A. Ewing, all the way here from Freeport, Grand Bahama, Bahamas. And again, taking another opportunity to share some words of wisdom with you. And believe it or not, I decided to do this on my birthday. Yes, today, September 13th, 2025. I am 55 years old. Yeah, I know. No need to brag. I don't look it, I know. 55 years old. So I said, after I would have done everything today, I done my radio show earlier, ended at 2 o'clock and did some other stuff. I said, before I allow Deidre to spoil me for the rest of the day, let me just share some words of wisdom and experiences that I would have encountered up to this point. And for those who haven't arrived at 55 as yet, what I can say to encourage them or to motivate them. So, within my 55 years of living, there are three things that I could think of right now that I feel I was consistent with. And as a result of it, it brought a lot of changes in my life. But more importantly, it caused me to view life differently. And the first one was peace. As you get older in life, well, young people right now, like in their 20s or leaving their teens into their 20s, even going to their 30s, you would always feel as if you have so much time. Like you could do whatever you want to do in life. I thought I'd cancel all of my calls. All right, but anyway, let's get back to this. So the truth is, you don't have a lot of time. It may seem so, but the truth is your time is being consumed on things that one day you're going to look back on and say how you wasted your time in that particular area. So as you get older and the glory of things, the joy of things, or those things that once brought you happiness has no big deal in life anymore, such as a new car or top job or a new boyfriend, girlfriend, and all of those things keep you motivated to keep going in life. But you get to a point in life where those things don't really matter no more. So the first point I want to make is that point of peace. As you get older, and this is one of the signs so that you're maturing in life, you have a greater sense for peace in your life. You want peace no matter what is going on. I'm telling you, when you pass 25, going into 30 and going over 30 years old, if you are maturing as you go through different stages in your life, the first sign of the maturity is you become more cognizant of a peaceful life than anything else. Trust me on this one. That no matter what happens in life, no matter what goes down, whether you're disappointed, whether it's good times, whether it's the passing of a friend, a loved one, or whatever, you get to settle. And I'm telling you, there has to be that point in your life where you get to consult with you, where you get to glean peace in your own environment. Now, for me, that's where I live. That's my home. My home is a place, and I've cultivated it to be that way, of peace. No matter what happens in this life, no matter what goes on outside, once I walk into my home, it is a place of peace, and we've cultivated it that way. Now, some of you, it may not be your home. It could be a park. It could be just going to the beach. It could be just doing a walk. These are moments where you treasure your peace. You treasure your space. And you refuse to allow the cares of the world to infiltrate that and rob you any further of that. So that's one of the things you're going to have to master. And you're going to need that because I'm telling you, the road ahead, you don't know what's there for you. You don't know what is going to happen. And there have to be a place that you have already cultivated that, again, no matter what happens, I could retreat to this place to gather myself, to regroup, to whatever the case may be. The second thing as a 55-year-old that I would give us advice, and that is consistency. Now, the truth is, and if I want to be honest with you, consistency in a person's life is set as a default. And what I mean by that is whether or not you are aware of it, you are consistent in something. Believe you me. Consistency will always bring forth a fruit. It will always manifest something. So if you say to me right now, Kevin, I'm 64 right now, and I feel like my life is a mess. I feel like I've accomplished nothing in life. I just am not happy about where I'm in life. Now, me, from the outside looking in, you know what I see? I see a person who was consistent at doing nothing to improve their life, to build their life. They were consistent in self-pity. They were consistent in being lackadaisical. Whatever it is, you're consistent. So you see, consistency is a default. Whatever or however your life pan out is as a result of being consistent at whatever it is that you do. Now, if you want to change the result of whatever your consistency is bringing, then you have to change the components in which you're being consistent in. For example, what is the common denominator between a rich person and a poor person? There is one thing that is common among them, even though there are two ends of the scales. Well, the answer is consistency. Right, that's the common denominator. A poor person is poor because they are consistent in doing what it takes to give them the result of being poor. A rich person is rich because they're consistent in whatever it is that they're doing that is causing them to be rich. So you see, life has no surprises when you look at the rules that govern life. So whatever it is that I am getting as a consistent end result, it is what I am being consistent in. I'm sticking to a certain set of rules that I don't even realize, but it's always panning out the same end result right here. So if I don't like what I'm getting in life, but I see what I'm constantly doing that is giving me this, I don't complain about the system. What I do is change the components in the system, still being consistent, but only this time I will see a different result. So consistency is key to life in everything. If you're a lazy person, you're consistent. If you're a happy person, whatever you're consistent, whatever your outcome in life is consistently, it is as a result of you being consistent at whatever you're doing to give you that result. So you can't be upset with people or mad at other people when their life is moving in a certain direction. I promise you, whatever they're doing to get that is nothing special. It's something that they're doing that is giving them that end result, but they're doing it by default. They're programmed to do it over and over. You ever met a person, no matter how things are going good, no matter how beautiful life is, no matter how sunny the day is, no matter how much money they have on their account, they're never happy. They're always bitter, always complaining, and people will not realize that this is another product of consistency. No matter what happens in life, they have stuck to the components and will continually engage these components to give them the results that they dislike. And if you tell them, well, you need to change certain things in your life, oh, well, I don't know. And so, yeah, consistency is key. Consistency. At the age of 55 today, I can tell you the new results that I've received since, really implementing the biblical rules that you see me teach about. What I have seen here is once I would have changed some components in the things that I was always consistent. Unfortunately, the things that I was consistent in wasn't beneficial to me. And it was only until, again, I studied the Bible for myself. I saw that the Bible is the book of laws, rules, and principles. And once I engage these principles and be consistent at it, then I will get the results that the Bible promised. But I was never taught it that way. Usually the Bible was a book that I was taught to run to when I get into trouble or whatever the case may be, or when I go to church, you open it because the pastors say open it. But I never saw it as a book of laws or laws that govern life. I never saw it that way. So peace, number one, consistency, number two. So number three, I left for the last one here because I'm really going to expand on this one. And this one here is going to be the game changer. And every one of you are going to be able to relate to me. This particular one I use when we doing the marriage seminars with marriage mechanics, and whenever I'm doing teachings on marriage and relationships, This is a quote that I always use. It's my quote that I coined years ago because it was so relatable to me. And the third one is your connections in life. My friend, hear me well. I've said repeatedly, your connections in life, whomever or whatever you connect to, whether you're aware of it or not, will determine your direction in life. I'm going to say it again. Your connections will determine your direction. I don't care what your desire is. I don't care what your fantasies are when you meet this person or you connect with this job or you did a business deal with somebody and you're in business with someone. Hear me and hear me well. Your connections will, on an ongoing basis, navigating and determining your direction or your way ahead, whether you like it or not. Let me prove it to you. Let me speak to some of you right now who got married and you had kids and your life with that person was living hell, right? You never had no peace, always problems, always bucking heads, never agreeing with each other. 10 years later, you divorce. In hindsight, when you look back, what do you blame everything on? From the time you met that person till the time the relationship ended, what do you blame it on? You would say to me, well, Kevin, blah, blah, blah. No. I guarantee it, if you had connected with somebody different, who probably shared the same interests and everything else, life would have been totally different. So you see what I'm saying to you? You could see someone right now and say, boy, listen, he's a handsome guy. She's so beautiful. And I just love how eloquent they are. And that's just the outside. You don't know what that person got going on up here. You don't know what they're into. You don't know what their interests are. You don't know what their secrets are. But all of this you will be signing on to when you decide to go steaming ahead with them and, God forbid, to join them in holy matrimony. Because now your life is going to take on a direction because of that connection. You see? And you're going to have very little say in this because none of this you planned for. But here you are 10 years ahead, but your life going backwards, nothing going for you, all because of this person you connected with. I remember many years ago, one of my greatest teachers, one who I've learned so much from, that was Myles Munroe. And as much as I love his messages and they resonate with me today, and I still listen to him from time to time, there was one thing that Mr. Munroe said that I never agreed with. And I wasn't even as knowledgeable about scripture as I am now, but it never sat with me. And I remember him saying, he said in one of his sermons, I can't remember it, he said that if you are a Christian, it doesn't matter who you marry as long as that person is a Christian. And like I said, I was a novice in the faith. My respect for this man to this day is still top notch. Nothing has changed with him. I still watch him today. I have his books, many of them I've read from back to front. But as brilliant as he is or was, that never sat with me. Because for me, I couldn't, to me, not because a person is a Christian and I'm a Christian, that means we're compatible. And we see this in everyday life. All right? We see in everyday life where two people claim to serve God, and there are many things that they dislike or are not compatible with. So I don't believe that if a person is a Christian and I'm a Christian and we're both available, that we could just be married. We don't really have to go through the vetting process and all that. No, I don't believe in that. And God don't believe in that. Let me tell you why God don't believe in that. Two scriptures come to mind. Number one, I remember, I think it's in Jeremiah 3. Anyway, wherever it was, it's where 3 or 5, where Jeremiah, God told Jeremiah not to marry any women from that particular place where he was, and so on and so forth, and how all of these things are going to happen to them. And when it happened, don't mourn for them or whatever. And come to find out, the place that he was talking about was in Jerusalem. They were the children of Israel. But God is telling me at this period that even though you're an Israelite and so on, the case maybe they are, you are not to marry them, right? Even going further, and this is now would have been outside of the, for example, in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verses 1 to 5. God is now warning the children of Israel once again that when they go into the promised land, he said, do not make any covenants with the Canaanites, neither let your sons and daughters marry any of them. All right? Then he told them, at least they pull you away from your God. You see, at the end of the day, especially when it comes to relationship and connection will determine your direction, it's because no matter how educated you are, no matter how brilliant you are, no matter what beautiful things you came along with, both of you. See, at the end of the day, your love for this person or your guys' love for each other, that is what's leading you. That's what's guiding you. And the day is going to come when the novelty of that so-called love is going to wear off and everybody's going to take the gloves off at that point and you get to see each other for who they really are. Unfortunately, for some people, they have already married at this point and they realize, I don't really love this person. I love the image of them. I love that they were a police officer and I love men in uniform, or she was a CEO of a company and I like women with power. But after all of that is gone, there's nothing here left for me. And I feel trapped right now. I need to get up out of here. So you see what I'm saying to you? Your connection puts you in a direction of something that you don't even really want. But because you were going on your so-called love, your so-called passion or whatever for this person, there was nothing else to keep this relationship up. So now that all of the surface stuff has already exhausted itself in this relationship, now what do we do? Well, the truth is, based on many of experience I've had with many other couples, the truth is you now go to war with hating each other. So your connections in life, be it platonic, be it romantic, be it marriage or whatever it is, be it business, you have to vet these people whom you're getting involved with, because ultimately, I'm telling you, these people could become the source of your misery. In fact, you could be the source of their misery. So what I'm saying in essence is compatibility is key, despite being a Christian. If you think being equally yoked only means that you must be a Christian, I am very sorry for you in terms of your standards of vetting the person you want to be with, because you are prone to make a mistake. Because anybody could put on what they want to put on to get what they want. Anybody could tell you, I love the Bible and I love going to church, and they will go to church and do whatever it takes to get you. And after that has been achieved and they let their hair down and you get to see the real them. But you cannot blame them. We got to blame you now for not doing your due diligence despite what this person has told you. So your life on an ongoing basis, the direction in which you're going forward in, the components that is determining that is not necessarily you. You's the one that's giving the final okay. But you're being influenced greatly by the person, places, and things you're connected to. That's determining it. All right? And that is something you need to look at. So I'll use me as an example again. I use me in the case of, that's Deidre. When I met Deidre, okay, and I told Deidre from there when I first met her, listen, I came out of divorce. It was something that I didn't want it. My ex-wife decided to go through divorce. I had no control over that. I ain't trying to beat myself over that. But of course, I was a broken man. A lot of things that I was expecting to happen didn't happen. I lost everything and had to start all over again. So anybody who's been through that before know that is in a good position. So at the time when I was talking, there wasn't a boyfriend-girlfriend thing. We're just talking, sharing stuff and so on. And I said to her, I said, now, let me be real with you. Now, this was like months after we really get into it and really trying to develop a relationship. I said, let me be clear with you. I'm not going to waste your time. I said, I know there's purpose on my life, and I'm sure there's purpose on your life. And I'm going to tell you now, the day that I call you my girlfriend, you will be my wife. Let me be clear with you. Because by the time I said, yes, I feel we should go forward with this, that means I would have crossed all my T's and dot all my I's. Because I'm not about to make the same mistake again. Well, I did that, and we decided to get married, right? I can tell you right now, from the time Deidre and I got together, which was over 11 years, we were married now, to this point, and I'm not exaggerating, every year, year after year, it has gotten better and better and better and better. Now, why is this? This is so because you have two people in this relationship where the foundation of this relationship is respect towards one another. See, no relationship could work, be it business, platonic, even marriage, if there's no respect amongst both parties. Why? Because respect becomes the glue to everything else in the relationship. The minute disrespect is displayed in that relationship from any party, trust me, the cracks now will begin to develop if that's not resolved immediately. Secondly, aside from respect, if the parties, right, aside from the respect now, if the parties' love for each other is conditional, meaning that I will do and render services to you and be nice to you as long as you do what I say or as long as I'm happy. But the minute I feel frustrated or I'm not getting my own way or whatever the case may be, I now pull back all services and goods that I once rendered. That is what you call a conditional relationship, meaning that I am here based on conditions. The minute those conditions are not met, then I am out of here. From day one, you should have never been in a relationship like that. Because such people don't understand marriage. To them, marriage is a status. Marriage is an accomplishment like getting a degree or whatever. In time, you don't brag about that degree no more. In time, you don't talk about that fancy car you bought for $80,000 anymore. And that's how most people see marriage. So, unknowing to the party they're getting married to, attached to it are these conditions. So such people have no problem when you have a problem in a relationship to go months without speaking to you, treating you like a stranger in the home. Okay? Everything is split down the middle, or you do this, or whenever they talk about anything, that's my TV and that's your cup over there. And there's never we or our. So any of this you see prior to relationship, you need to be running. You need to be taken off out of there as fast as you could. Because I'm telling you, you are seeing all with full vision, all clarity, what is ahead of you. My mother always said to me when I was growing up, she says, Kevin, a little could tell you what a lot is going to be like in the future. If you're getting these little signs now, homeboy, there's a lot more where it's coming from. So it is important. It is of the utmost important. If you're with somebody right now and that person is desperate to be married, and every 2 words, when we can get married, and they keep pushing the envelope, pushing the envelope, pushing the envelope. First of all, the one who's pushing the envelope, you shouldn't be pushing the envelope at all, because if you have to coerce somebody in becoming one with you, that right there is a red flag. That right there should make you consider your options. The other party on the other end, this person who's running you down. Why? Why are you running me down? See, that's a good time to ask you, tell me something. What do you think marriage is all about? Because you're so desperate to be married. What do you think marriage is all about? To them, it's all dolly house. Well, all they're thinking about is the bridal party and the bridesmaid and the grooms and the pedal dropper and the ring bearer, and how their friends are going to be so jealous of them with their 30 million layer cake. And that's it. It ends right there. The real work to put in to keep this thing together and working as one, primarily dealing with the foundation of respect and unconditional love, none of those components are there. So with these things not being present, why are we shocked that this thing isn't working out? Why are we shocked that we're bucking heads day by day? Why? When none of the components to make a marriage last, none of these were the foundational things that we entered this marriage with. In fact, we could have put a timer on this from the day we said I do. We could have actually prophesied and say, you know what? I give this marriage about, if we do a year, it's a miracle. If we do a year and 3 months, Jesus is clearly involved trying to help us here. That's what you should be saying. Because at the end of the day, if there is no respect, if there is conditional love, okay? If there is where you have no boundary set, everybody do what they want to do and just hope things fall into place. Buddy, let me be clear with you. You need to run to the hills from whence cometh your help. You hear me? Because you can need that. I'm telling you right now, Because you could find yourself in a prison. You hear me? And the worst prison ever to be in. It isn't a prison with bars and keys to unlock like a jail cell, you know. It's a prison where you have the illusion of freedom. Meaning that I'm not handcuffed, I'm not shackled, I'm not restricted to go and come as I please. But here in my mind, I am so unhappy, I feel trapped. Because I cannot walk out of this marriage the way it was so easy for me to walk in. That's the worst prison you could ever be in. Where you gotta sit down and track back where I went wrong. How the hell I even get in this? You don't want that. So when I see a lot of these internet people talking about kingdom spouse and all this other stuff, you know, and I watch them, you know, and I'm not knocking it. What I'm knocking is I'm not hearing the principles of marriage. I'm not hearing the principles of respect and unconditional. All I'm hearing is God getting ready to do supernatural marriages. No. I don't believe that part, because you know why? If that was true, then God will have whoever he's telling them to laying down all of the rules and all of the conditions that comes along according to his word when it comes to marriage. But it shouldn't be just, I want to be married, or I feel I'm 27, 28, 30 now, it's time for me to be settled. No. Why you want to be settled? Why is it that you want to be settled? And these are questions that should be asked. Why do you want to be settled? Why? Especially when you've had all kind of heartbreak in the past that you not gotten over, but you're masking it now. And God forbid, if I marry you, I get to see all of this trauma that is now too late. I've already said I do, and I got to deal with all of this stuff with your grumpy them do you, your ex-boyfriend do you, your baby daddy, your uncle do. None of these things you told me. So now I got to navigate myself through this. Then I don't have your cooperation, because whenever you feel frustrated, you go into a pity party and leave me all by my own stranded trying to figure this thing out. The devil is a liar. People, hear me, and young people who are not married yet, hear me and hear me well. If the person you're planning on marrying right now, I want you to hear me. You notice I taken longer on this last point. This is how important it is. If both of you don't share the same reasons why you're getting married based on the biblical rules, instructions, and foundation of marriage, I am telling you right now, I think you should leave that alone. I would tell you right now, as a marriage counselor, I would tell you don't bother with that. Don't leave that alone. The little pain that you will feel now pulling away from this is zero in comparison of what you will feel in the future. Take my seemingly foolish advice right now. Okay? Take my seemingly foolish advice. If this person don't understand what unconditional love is, if this person is disrespecting you now and if this person is disrespecting you, talking to you any kind of way, all of this, you ain't say I do yet. All of this. And this person have no self-control. The minute they get angry, they firing F words at you, cussing out everybody, and when that demon done give them a break, they come back, oh, I'm sorry, that don't normally happen. You know, I've just been through so much. You've been through so much. That's no excuse. What you're saying, my friend, is a person who lacks self-control. A person who has no boundaries when they get upset. They speak to you any kind of way. They never ever take accountability, never take responsibility, and will never apologize, or whenever they apologize, it's always preceded with a but. I'm sorry, but I wouldn't have said that if you didn't do that. No. All of that are red flags saying to you, don't you ever be so stupid to get involved permanently with this person. This is trouble waiting to happen. My last point in this final one of the three. Remember, I said to you, peace, right? Peace is key. Consistency. And I said, your connection will determine your direction, right? My final point in this, your connection will determine your direction, is this. The people, the persons, the places you connect with in life will determine three things in your life. All right? And this is how you're going to be able to determine the quality and value of what and whom you've connected with. whatever you've connected with will either cause you to remain stagnant, meaning that ever since you connected to this person, place, or thing, you were never able to go backward or forward. So you remain stagnant. The next scenario is, from the time you connected to this person, it's like you've been on a race in your life, but this race was taking you backward. You wasn't going forward. It was like you was trying to get to a finish line, but the only problem here is you're going backward. The third one, which is the best one, and that is, from the time I connected to this person, place, or thing, it has been nothing but forward motion, going from level to level. And that is what we call a relationship of synergy, where you have two or more things coming together, such as husband and wife, or any relationship, and this union, because of each other, respecting each other, because of the boundaries set and the respect for those boundaries are carried out, this relationship now, as a synergy relationship, must, not might, must produce more as a union going forward than the parties were doing as individuals. The other two relationships is what I refer to as antagonistic relationship. Antagonistic relationship is where you have two same people involved in a relationship. The problem is they're not working together as a team. They're not pooling their resources together. In other words, they're bucking heads. As a result of it, there's still a union. But in this case, because of the bucking heads, they will produce less as a union than they were doing as individuals. So you see my point. Your connections in life will determine your direction in life. They will determine where you'll go forward, remain stagnant, or go backward. I don't care how education have nothing to do with it. Beauty have nothing to do with it. None of that. It is how that person operates up here. What their values are, what they believe in. So this is why when vetting a person, don't just stop at them. What you are seeing is a person who is going to give you the best of them because they want you to like them and they like you. Their life. Tell them, come take me by your mom, dad. Let me meet your sisters and aunts and uncles. Let me meet Pookie and Boba and them. Let me meet them. Let me go down. Take me now. I want to meet these. Because what you're going to see here is a samples of what this person is hiding overall. Meaning there's a little piece of what you're seeing there in this person. But you just got to push the right triggers to get it out. But you ain't going to see that right now because this is the beginning of the relationship. So for you to see that, see, mama and them don't really care about you. Okay? Unc and them, they don't care. As far as they're concerned, their niece getting married, man, or they have a boyfriend. See, but Unc them can be themselves. Auntie can be her same cousin self. Okay? Daddy can drink his liquor. He don't care. See, you now begin to see raw, uncut of the lineage you're about to get involved with. So you now could make the decision, boy, I know. Now one may say, well, Kevin, that wouldn't be fair. I mean, why would you just judge this person on what the consistency of this family? Why wouldn't I? Tell me why. I figure if there's any place I should really zoom in on would be this family bloodline. So that is a perfect way to vet someone in terms of seeking a long-term relationship. Because I'm going to tell you, you don't want to be involved in a relationship where the party don't respect you. Don't respect you as a woman. Don't respect you as a man. Okay? You don't want that. Okay? And I'm telling you, boy, that don't set in. That don't set in till after the big 1,500 member bridal party, the 16 limousines with the bridal party in it, the 35-foot wedding cake, having a renowned world singer sing at the party. See, when all of that is gone and everybody go back to their respective places and you're with this man or you're with this woman and the first time y'all get in an argument, they telling you what a piece of you know what you are and they sorry the day they blank met you. and you're wondering, this cannot be. And then they finally calm down and say, oh, I just was upset, and if you didn't do so and so, I wouldn't have done that. Not only did you break out of what you were hiding all along and display the real you don't want to be accountable for it. You're blaming everybody except you who did the wrong. So now, unfortunately, you're done in the union. Now you're beginning to see the scales are moved now from your eyes, and you really begin to see, Lord, what have I gotten myself into? And you know what? If it's not corrected, more than likely it wouldn't be. It's going to get worse. Or you would hear, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it anymore. And especially if you hear, I'm not going to do it anymore. If, conditional again, if you do something, as if you have the self-control problem. So when you see those things, buddy, prior to getting married, again, I don't care the status of the person. I don't care. They could be Cinderella with the silver shoe or whatever. You don't want that. I'm telling you. You may think you want that, but you don't want that, because the day you get into that is over. God forbid. Somebody just need to hear this, because I should have been finished long time. Somebody need to hear this piece right here. God forbid. God forbid. God forbid. Listen to me carefully. God forbid if you're getting involved with this person who is clearly a controller, man or woman. Okay? From right there, you should have run, but you didn't. God forbid if you're getting involved with a controller, but this controller is loved by their parents. So what that means is that there's no case when you're two buckheads that you could present to the parents, especially mommy. All right? You say, Miss So-and-so, I didn't want to get you involved in our situation, but I was hoping you could talk to Kevin, because, sometimes when it coming from me, you might, become immune to me saying it, and I hope that you could, excuse me, not my son. You couldn't mean my dad. You finish. You done. No, that's it. To me, in my opinion, it's cheaper you just ring up Jesus and say, listen, can take me home now. Because your days of peace are over. You could never in this life go to them to seek some kind of justice, because they've already put their foot down and show you, buddy, I taken my child's side. So right there, you realize you lock. That's it. You done. You finish. Listen, you should tell God, listen, I don't know who you can pull up to heaven next, but see if you could get me before them, because I need to get up out of here. Because I'm telling you, your days of peace are over. Over. You go to the mommy, you go to the sister, you go to the brother, and all of them standing strong. Not my sister, not my brother. Now you see what you get yourself into. Now you see what you're dealing with. And at this point, my friend, only Christ can help you. I'm telling you now, buddy. I'm telling you now. The only advice I got for you at that point, see how quick God could speed up your departure. Because other than that, listen to me here. Old people got this saying, buddy, and just the sound of it is horrific. And that is, you will suck the seeds of sorrow. And it's the truth. It is over for you. Wind up all of your affairs, because you cannot be happy after that. You cannot. If she cheats on you, if he cheats on you, who you can go to? You can't go to his mommy. You can't go to the daddy. You can't go to the sisters, because all of them doing it. But you saw all of this. You saw all of this before you got in this. But you know what you said? Oh, no, she is different. Oh, he is different. Yeah, the only thing different here is you can get a different dose of what all of them are consistent in. So, run for your life. If you are not married as yet, and you see these things I'm telling you, run for your life. But above everything else I told you, the first one that I said to you, even if things got that bad into that extreme that I said just now, if you have cultivated your peace, that's a good thing, because that means you could retreat to wherever it is that you could attain that peace and begin to reevaluate, and with the help of God, to navigate the way forward. I would never ever tell someone to get a divorce or push it Unless, my only condition, if the person is abusive and really, really you feel you fear in your life, then by all means, I would even say separate to even see if some mediator could come in and try to bring things together. But I would never tell a person, leave your husband, leave your wife, unless it's under a life or death situation. All right? Because even though I was given a divorce, I don't believe in divorce. And when I say I don't believe in divorce, what I simply mean is that I don't believe the first thought that should come to a person's mind once they have trouble in the marriage, I need to get out of here. No, you sign on to all of that. You have to exhaust every avenue of it until a divorce is uncontrollable at that point. Meaning that you have no more say in it. So if the other party, like in my case, just decide to walk away, you can't force someone to be with you. You can't pull a gun on them or put them in the chokehold and say, if I catch you up to the divorce court, it can be me and you. No. So if they choose to walk away, then that on them. The Bible is very clear on this point, and it says that if the unbelieving party decides to leave, then let them leave, for God has called us to peace, and you are no longer bound or in covenant with that person anymore. So I didn't initiate the divorce, you did. So I'm free to move on with my life. But aside from that, if you could make it work, then make it work. Okay, so I'm going to end with that right there. Thank you for spending these moments with me. Again, like I said, today is my birthday. I'm 55 years old today, and I'm really, really enjoying this day. So I just wanted to just drop those little nuggets there for you to think about going forward in life. My life is a very, very, I can't lie to you, I have a very, very happy life. And anyone who knows me know that my life has changed a full 180. It wasn't always this way. I went through a lot to get here, but I thank God I wouldn't change what I went through, because it gave me an appreciation for what I am now, especially with my wife, Deidre. Y'all know I love me some Deidre. Deidre has been a real. Deidre was someone I needed at the time she came into my life. And it's because of her, I'm telling you, because of her faith in me, and she believed in me. She respected me. She honored me as her husband. And even times when I was grumpy and so broken, she was patient with me, until the day came when I remember, I'll never forget this, we had an argument. This before we got married, because a lot of what I went through in my former marriage, the anger and the bitterness that I had towards what happened, I was bringing it out on her. And one day, because of her patience with me, it really broke me, and I saw what I was doing. And I told her, I went by her home, and I said to her, and I apologized to her for what I did, and I told her why. I said, I am broken. I am a man who I'm very hurt. I never planned for my life to go this way, and I'm still reeling in from that. She never cursed me or riled me or did none of that. She was the person I needed at that time. She saw the good in me. She saw the potential in me. She knew that what I see on the outside about this guy here, there's more to this guy than this. And here it is, 11 years later. I couldn't have made a better choice. When I tell you I love this woman, that's an understatement, because there's so much about her to love. And that's what I'm telling you, my home is a happy home. When I go home, it's just me and her, and I go home to a peaceful home, a peaceful wife, a woman who respects me, who embraces me, who honors me, who listens to me, who take my advice and I take her advice, and whatever we do, it is us. It is no Deidre or Kevin. It's Deidre and Kevin. So that is what a man wants. A man wants peace. The two greatest things in life a man wants is respect and peace. He don't need no woman debating him all the time and being combative or confrontational, or I'm standing my ground. No man want that. And if he putting up with that now, it's only a matter of time before he look for somewhere else. I'm telling you that right now. So if that's the attitude you want to carry, you can pay for that later. So we have cultivated peace. So no matter what I do out there, when I'm out there counseling or meeting with people or doing conferences or talking to thousands of people and being so exhausted and tired and frustrated, when I come home, I literally come home to a palace of peace. That's why I started this out with peace. And if you don't have that peace, you have nothing. I don't care how much things you accumulated in life, cars, houses, whatever, you're debt free. You could never enjoy that if you don't have the peace to accommodate that. So Deidre has brought me that peace. And I don't regret 2 seconds of when I made the decision. Before I even told her, when I made a decision in my mind, okay, boy, you know what? This woman I mean, it's checked out straight through. This is the woman I'm going to marry. That's it. And when I spoke to her again, I said, listen, when I told you, I said, when I said, you are my girlfriend, you will be my wife, well, you better get prepared because you will be my wife. And that's what happened back then. And every year, this is what synergy does. When two people working together as a team, respecting each other, there's no conditions with the love. Other times that me and Deidre get mad and rob each other, of course, that's a part of life. But not to the point where I want to leave or she want to leave. Not to the point where we give up for every little thing that happened. No. In both cases, we've made the agreement before we got married that we'll never go to bed being angry with one another. All right? And we have maintained that. It wasn't easy. Because trust me, I wanted to say, now look, I can show you something. And I'm sure she did too. But we respected the commitments and vows that we made. So all of that is what gives you a healthy relationship. A healthy relationship isn't going to come because you wanted to, or you fantasize, or this is your dream. No, you got to work towards that. But I'm going to say it again. It comes with respect. If there is no respect, if a woman does not honor her husband and see him as the head and be submissive to him, and he love her as Christ loved the church, simply meaning unconditionally, even though I don't like this way about her, she's still my wife. I still love her. This doesn't mean I must take this opportunity to berate her and tell her how no good she is and no. Some way, somehow, I must retreat, calm down, and I'll come back at this. But we could sit down and come to an amicable agreement in terms of the way forward. So I can say it again, your connection is going to determine your direction. I would have never been successful in ministry or any other area of my life, I feel, if I had married someone else. Deidre was the right person at the right time when she entered my life to help me navigate, and she's been with me every step of the way. So I will never ever trade her for nothing ever. Okay? To say that I'm happy with this woman is an understatement. For me to say I'm happy with Deidre, I'm lying, because really that don't even scratch the surface how I feel about her. It's beyond just being happy with her. I'm contented with her. I want to grow old with her. I want to be with her. I love us doing stuff together, traveling and ministering, and I love that. Because when that is all said and done, we come back to each other. And that is key. All right? So I hope I've inspired you guys. I hope I've given you something to chew on and something to play back in your mind and to use as pointers to see if you're now going in the right direction. Okay? So God bless you. God keep you. And you guys have a wonderful Saturday afternoon.